Throw away everything you know about Spinoza, or at least that's what Yalom did when he wanted to write the Spinoza's problem. I swear all these philosophers have some sort of problem, but what made Yalom, the existentialism ambassador of our time, feel the need to decipher the problem of Spinoza? Well, let's take a look at this postmodern book by Erwin Yalom and see what's Spinoza's problem. And you may not know, but Spinoza wanted to never be exposed and actually kind of burn everything that was left from him. So we'll get into that. Hi, my name is Nazanin, and here we discuss books. Throw away everything you know about Spinoza, or at least that's what Yalom had to do when he started the project of Spinoza. When he visited Spinoza's museum, he found that there aren't many pieces left from him, or actually there aren't many original pieces left from him, some because of Spinoza's will and some because of a person called Alfred Rosenberg. So here we have two parallel storylines. One is Spinoza, who is a trader at his family business, and on some random day, two random guys came up to him and asked some religious and philosophical questions. Those questions begin to become very philosophical, which is my favorite. And you may ask why they didn't go to some religious figure and instead they go to Spinoza. I'll discuss that in a bit. The second story is about a high school student called Alfred Rosenberg, and he had a speech or lecture and he got heated up and started to talk about his hatred toward Jew people. And mind you, this was way before Hitler. It kinda sounds like a threat for so many people. The reason those guys were in front of Baruch Spinoza instead of religious figures was allegedly because they wanted someone to help them, not judge them. And my trust issue could never let me help someone and put them into my insights about religions and how Jew authorities are trying to fake the religion and kind of manipulate people to believe that so they can use that for their benefit. I think I was right. Particularly when I know how high stakes are. What stakes? Just wait. So Alfred's speech piqued his teacher and his school manager's attention. The school manager was Jew and rightfully he was scared of Alfred's thoughts. So they decided to punish Alfred with some homework, and if he didn't do the homework, they threatened him to not make him graduate. And this was Alfred's worst nightmare. Why? Let me explain to you. Another day, Spinoza found a mentor at his store. At this point, I was thinking, should I go and work at the store? I could have used some of these free mentorships and any type of academia and learning opportunity, honestly. But as you know, there's always a catch with this free stuff. Alfred had some family issues and he needed to become educated and graduated. And also, Alfred was so adamant on having no Jew roots that gave the manager no choice but to give him some homework to go and study on Goethe, who was Alfred's role model at the time. And Goethe's role model was Spinoza, and they wanted him to go and search for the root of Spinoza, who was Jew. But wait, Spinoza wasn't Jew all of his life, as far as we know. Spinoza had to teach his mentor and his mentor's daughter some language instead of the offered classes. When his mentor found out about those random guys, he warned him about them, but Spinoza wasn't willing to care or didn't really care about the conspiracy, and obviously that cost him something. Alfred's punishment from school was really modernist and I was really impressed by the idea, but it was good idea with very bad execution. Spinoza revealed most of his thoughts and those two snitched him right away. One of them was not very willing, but however. And now it's up to Spinoza to choose his fates, choice that his philosophical life depends on. And as we know, he ended up becoming a philosopher, but at what cost? Alfred's teacher consulted him instead of learning what Goethe had said about Spinoza, memorize his homework. I think that's where things started to go downhill. At the end, the manager and the teacher decided that Alfred wasn't really a leader material and his destructive thoughts wouldn't hurt anyone. They weren't right. I can say they weren't right. So, what happened? By the way, let me rephrase it. It was a bad execution with worse conclusion. So we all know Spinoza is one of the greatest philosophers that ever known to human being. That simply means he declined the offer of synagogue to cancel the anathema, death, exile, and stay there with a fund that would support the research he wanted to do on theology or whatever he wanted to do, and he decided to live fully free and freedom he could. At first I was like, is he dumb or something? But then as I think about it, I understood that if he wanted to stay there he had to follow the rules, and that means heavy censorship. So what was expecting him in his real life? Why Spinoza chose free life and why Alfred Rosenberg is as bad as Hitler, if not worse. Subscribe for part 2. Yalom's books are a great introduction to philosophers' mindset and very easy to read in a fictitious way. So let me know if you read anything from Yalom, and